Hello everyone, this is Crota coming at you. Today is the 3rd of January if you guys are following me very closely as I give you game 1 in a series between, I believe it's pronounced K versus Lawliet. Lawliet spawning as the yellow night elf here, meanwhile K spawning as the teal human under the name Ha Yong. Now this is on Nomad Isle 1.3, and there are 3 spawning locations here as we're already looking at this militia making its way off to the north. This is going to be game 1 in a best of, I believe it's a best of 5, not 100% sure. If I'm able to cast all the games in the series, then yay. If I have to stop short, well, I'll have to cast it over a couple of days. Now, taking a look at the militia heading off to the north here is going to find a moonwell, and we are looking for an altar of elders. We still don't see an altar of elders. We do have an ancient of war currently coming into play, and this is a big indicator that we will be seeing tavern heroes. Tavern heroes, a very strong hero indeed, and also the fact that you're able to delay your altar of elders really allows the night elf players to open up many different styles of builds. There's the altar of elders now already being placed down at the 1 minute, I guess 15-second mark, as the Altar of Kings is already training up that Archmage, so a little bit of benefit there. Meanwhile, we are going to be seeing an Ancient of War training up some archers. The archer may make its way down over here, or we should be seeing a Wisp now making its way over as well. Now, I am curious as to which tavern hero we will be spotting. Tavern heroes, a Dark Ranger is generally a very strong solo hero just because of those skeletal minions that are spawned. Also, Quill Beast Beastmaster does work out fairly well. I've also seen some gimmicky play back in the day where players would actually go for the Crazed Alchemist. Crazed Alchemist not that good of a choice any longer. It is a very tanky hero, but it does tend to drain the Night Elf Moonwells rather quickly. We are going up against a human player, so I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a Panda, as we're now looking at the Archmage coming in over here to try and take down this giant sea turtle creep camp. Alright, well, I guess not. The giant sea turtle isn't the main unit there. It is actually this spider crab behemoth, as we're looking already at the Panda making its way off to the north. Panda very useful on Breath of Fire, but as a primary hero, I don't quite agree with it. Lawliet may be going up against a lot of spell breakers in the mid portion of the game, and that's something that you don't want to see. Your main hero being completely shut down by just a swarm of standard units. We are looking at this Ancient of War tanking a lot of this damage right here, and you can see that the Spider Crab Behemoth is taking a lot of damage here. It's going to get taken out. Talisman of Evasion, very nice on a Panda, as it will not need the tech Drunken Brawler. Alright, this Ancient of War just absorbing damage, and right now this is a very good play by Lawliet. He is not actually losing that much gold, since he is clearing out a giant sea turtle creep camp, and most likely this null brood creep camp here in just a moment as well. And by clearing out those creep camps, he is getting a small amount of gold, and he is also able to harvest some lumber as well with that additional wisp. So far, that Ancient of War already down to 152 hit points. It's not really in danger of falling though, sitting at 135 and growing, and it should have no problem whatsoever. Perhaps eat another tree or two and then make its way around for the second creep camp. Panda already sitting at about 2.5. Archmage already sitting at 3 at this point. Level 3 Archmage also has his own Talisman of Evasion, so the Archmage is just a little bit more difficult to take out. If you ever wondered, an Archmage with Talisman of Evasion is very similar to effective hit points as 15 points of, or as effective as, I believe, 3 points of armor. Anyways, we are coming in here. We are going to go ahead and engage. The Panda does come in with a nice Breath of Fire, dealing a lot of damage there. There goes the Troll Shadow Priest. Not quite sure whose it was in that particular instance, as we're now looking at the Troll Berserker coming back off. Lawliet does not have his Troll Shadow Priest any longer. This Troll Shadow Priest trying to get away. As you can see, K is just running back with that Troll Shadow Priest and those other lower hit point units. The Panda could come in with a Breath of Fire. This Water Elemental perhaps going to try and aggro some creeps and may be able to do exactly that. Oh, just hiding right there, and fires back at that Panda. as that Panda really wants to try and engage this Water Elemental, just doing a bit of a dance back and forth, and we are going to be seeing exactly that. That one Troll Berserker going to take a lot of damage here, and if that Troll Berserker does fall, oh, one more shot should do it. Oh, I don't believe the Archmage actually got the experience on that, maybe, perhaps. But that Archmage really denied that experience by that Panda, as we're still looking at a bit of an engagement here so far. K is doing a really good job. Lawliet is going to be forced to be in a very unfortunate situation as, oh, the Ancient of War getting the kill there, I believe. Denying experience once more. An Archer does fall as the Water Elemental is now trying to get away. Town Hall has been completed. Speed build, not very uncommon for human players to speed build a Town Hall there and try and get that economic advantage. It does mean that he is not at tier 2 yet, meaning that he is not going to be getting those spell breakers anytime soon. So far, 24 over 40 supply. We are looking at also 41 over 48. We are teching the tier 2, the Tree of Ages. And what are we going to have next as the Hunter's Hall is taking a bit of damage? Alright, that Archmage does want to drop another Water Elemental. It is not coming in though. And that is going to be a little bit of bad news as that Archmage now finds himself hit in the back with a bunch of arrows. Is going to be forced to retreat. If he had dropped the Water Elemental, I believe that Hunter's Hall would have pretty much been cancelled or at least significantly delayed, as it would be very low on hit points. Archers and Ancient of War clear out a creep camp there. Panda sitting at level 3 now, chasing down with a Circlet of Nobility. Gloves of Haste, the only item difference between the two, as the Archmage, what is he doing? He just walks over, picks up Boots of Speed, and now a Staff of Teleportation, gonna run off to the north here. And what is going to be happening next? That Archmage could get some easy shots off onto that Panda, as the Archmage is a significantly faster hero, especially with those Boots of Speed. Alright, Archmage now running past that Panda with no problem whatsoever. There is a Troll Shadow Priest right here, and all the units are just going to run inside as that Arcane Tower has been started. That Panda would be wise to not try and engage in here. This is simply too narrow of a corridor. Trying to fight here, also not knowing the timing on that Arcane Tower, could mean that the Breath of Fire could be destroyed well before it gets up and operational. There is now a Scroll of Regeneration, as the Panda may try to come in and blow down the Arcane Tower, but we are now seeing I guess K looking to set up at tier 2. He does have a keep. We are looking at Lawliet continuing to creep out, going after the 744 creep camp, same as a Turtle Rock expansion creep camp. Very good experience and some very good items as well. Goblin Shredder gonna take down one giant sea turtle, no problem. Gonna get the killing blow on another giant sea turtle, and now take on the gargantuan sea turtle, as that Ancient of War still tanking a lot of that damage. Archmage now making its way off to the north. You can see that the Panda is right there. It looks as though the gargantuan sea turtle, oh, the mana, potion of greater mana picked up by the Archmage, and the Archmage steals the item. Panda unable to pick up the item in time, and that's going to set him further behind, as we're looking at a Water Elemental clearing out a gargantuan sea turtle creep camp. We're going to see another potion of greater mana. And that is the problem right now. The problem right now for the Archmage is that he doesn't have enough room in his backpack to carry all of these items. Where is that Archmage also as well? I am looking for him. I don't see him on the map. I don't believe he fell, so where could he possibly be? Oh, still sitting in that Goblin Zeppelin right there. That's why you don't see him. He is just floating off, enjoying the breeze. Alright, so far, you can see the Null Overseer gonna get taken out here. Troll Shadow Priest, not very much mana. Null Overseer gonna get taken down. There is a Staff of Teleportation heading back inside here. Archmage may try to sell some items now, as he is sitting at level 4. He has a Potion of Greater Mana left over here. He has a Claws of Attack +6 off over here, so he really needs to sell some item and make room. Quickly selling the Staff of Teleportation, as that brought him back home, but he's not going to be doing that much harassment. Alright, there you go. Claws of Attack +6, Potion of Greater Mana down over here. That Archmage is going to have plenty of mana for the upcoming fights, or perhaps given to a Mountain King, as that should be trained up any moment now. We're sitting at over 1,200 gold. I don't know what he's spending all of his gold on now, going into workshops. We should be seeing some Arcane Sanctums as well. There is an Arcane Sanctum, dual Arcane Sanctums in fact, for those Spellbreakers. Panda sitting at level 4. We are looking for an additional hero. Dryads now making their way off over here. So far, Lawliet is doing a great job trying to creep and trying to get that panda up to level 5. If that panda can get to level 5, level 3 Breath of Fire, if there's ever a time to call to arms, well, you can't, just because that Breath of Fire and Drunken Haze deals so much damage. So far, you can see that the Dark Wizard is missing a couple of those attacks. Drunken Brawler was actually teched by Lawliet there, and that means that that Talisman of Evasion, or yeah, that Talisman of Evasion is not going to be very useful at all. I'm kind of surprised that you would even tuck Drunken Brawler if you already have the Talisman. It doesn't really do all that much. Archmage now coming in here, going to go ahead and take down a Moonwell very easily. Come back all of those pandas, and now here is that engagement. Are we going to see a Drunken Haze? No Drunken Haze. The panda could try to get off a Drunken Haze onto some of these units here, as the Zeppelin is still now backing away. So far, one Ancient of War going to take down a farm, just burn that down there as the Zeppelin is backing off. A Red Drake is actually chasing down the Zeppelin, and that could be a huge play there, as the units could try and take down the Zeppelin here. The Zeppelin down to 97 hit points. Oh my goodness, that is dangerously low. Is it going to fall? The Red Drake still chasing, and it is going to get off another shot down. Wait, why is it still at 97 hit points? I could have sworn that it was getting attacks in, and that Red Drake is now backing off. Are we going to see a second hero be trained up by Lawliet? It doesn't look like it. No, I don't see anything as of yet, as it may be Solo Panda, as he is very close to level 5, and eventually Earth, Storm, and Fire. Earth, Storm, and Fire, the ultimate ability for that panda. We're going to be looking at perhaps Drunken Haze, Breath of Fire straight across the board already. Where is that Red Drake? That Red Drake is still wandering the skies looking for some easy targets to take down. There goes another unit there. There is still one Hawk in the air, and I believe it is just going to get taken down. There it goes. No items left behind. Potion of Replenishment, and I believe that is a Claws of Attack +6. Not altogether that useful, as we're looking at K just clearing out this Drake creep camp now, and I believe the human player just has a serious advantage. With everything that you see on the board, the expansion advantage, even though Lawliet does have an entangling gold mine here and one off to the north, I still have to say that the human player has the advantage at this point. 73 supply compared to 48. Any straight up fights should go in favor of the Archmage. We should be seeing a second hero joining the ranks very shortly. Yes, Mountain King already at level 2, also has a Potion of Divinity, should be picking up a Potion of Mana as well, and now it's getting up to level 3. So that this one Mountain King sitting at level 3 already, and if he does get those double potions of... Oh, did he sell the Potions of Mana? It looks like the Potions of Mana were sold. Not quite sure if I agree with that, especially on a Mountain King, which is so mana intensive. Trying to get off a lot of Storm Bolts, very important at shutting down lots of units. All right, here we go. There is a Squirrel Town portal coming in. Down they go here, as we can see. Mortar teams are coming in with a bit of an engagement. All those units are now looking to back off. Drunken Haze, Breath of Fire was used. You can see now another Town Hall being placed down. Both players going to be running up on 3 bases here. And this is something unheard of. The Night Elf player on 3 bases, while the human player is going to be on 3 places as well. 3 bases as well. Lawliet looking to perhaps get some extra experience. You can see the mortar teams come in. Oh, one sentry ward was placed down here. I believe it is going to get taken down. Yep, there's the flare. It's going to get taken out, cleared up. So the mortar teams have flare. They can reveal stealth units and any shadow melding archers by chance, as the mortar team now going to take down Lawliet's Ancient of War, and most likely this base here. There's a Breath of Fire hitting all of these poor priests in the back. The priests are healing themselves back up, still back up to 42 hit points on each of them. That was a huge heal, as the panda could have tried to blow down all of those casters in one fell swoop. All right, here we go. What are we going to be seeing next? The panda now trying to engage Mountain Kings. Pretty good on mana so far. It still has that Potion of Divinity. A full 25 seconds of invulnerability. He can pretty much take down any army. or any hero by himself with that potion of divinity. All right, here we go. There is the engagement. Are we going to see a Stormbolt come in? Mountain King could try to Stormbolt down some of these Wisp, as well as the mortar teams quickly deal some damage against that Tree of Life. So far, there's a Drunken Haze. There's a Breath of Fire. One unit already taken down. It looks as though another Footman will get taken down here, as we see detonation, mass detonation coming in on the inside. However, Stormbolt onto the Panda. The Panda in a little bit of trouble. It does have an anti-magic potion to try to absorb some of that damage and perhaps mitigate the stun, as another Breath of Fire does come in. All right, so far the damage is starting to rack up. Fairy Fire, or Fairy Dragons also just flaring up all of these units here. Mortar teams trying to run, as the bears and the casters are all just engaging, and the lines have completely fallen. But who has the advantage? The Dryads coming in with extra damage, mortar team coming in with damage, Spellbreakers versus the bears, as all of a sudden Lawliet decides to back out of this fight. You can see, oh wow, very low hit point. Bear was able to escape at 34 hit points. Are we going to perhaps see some scrolls of regeneration or night stones being used? It looks as though the upgraded moonwells were used as well, so that means that the bears will be replenishing their hit points rather easily, as the Panda now sitting at level 6. Archmage still sitting at level 4. Mountain King still sitting at level 3. Have not leveled up in quite some time, as both of them have their extra base. 3 bases for each side. That means that these battles are going to be epic. 75 supply compared to 64. Lawliet still trying to catch up in the overall supply count, and needs to make sure that he doesn't fall behind technically. Technology wise, I guess. Upgrades, let's take a look at the upgrades. I believe it is 1-0 for those mortar teams. Yes, 1-0 on those mortar teams. That is a lot of damage. Flare quickly revealing all that is happening here. There are bears, there are fairy dragons in play. Fairy Dragon will most likely start mana flaring, trying to shut down the casters in the back. That is also a lot of Spellbreakers, as we see an invisibility onto that Archmage. Archmage now making its way off to the north. Panda still sitting at level 6. Potion of Mana, just in case he wants to split into Earth, Storm, and Fire. Can do exactly that. Alright, Panda still running their way off to the north here. We can see that there is still a Tree of Life, 71 over 80 supply, 84 over 100. Human now catching up and surpassing the overall supply count into high upkeep. That is a 60% tax rate. Very, very high. Meaning for every 10 gold you try to collect, 6 of it goes to, maintenance of the army, without really giving you any true advantage. Alright, there's that Mana Flare. You can see the Mana Flare is starting to just whittle down some of these casters, as the mortar teams do take down those units there. Scroll Town Portal teleporting everyone back home, as a mortar team gets off a final shot off onto some of these bears, and those units are all now in retreat again. Level 6 on that Panda, still very problematic. Still sitting at one hero at a time. Panda picking up another Scroll Town Portal, a Potion of Mana, and Scroll of Healing. Very good items again, but is it going to be enough? So far, Mountain King coming in, gonna go ahead and try and take down a Druid of the Claw. Should be able to do exactly that very easily. There's a Blizzard as well, and not only dealing damage, but slowing up all the units on top of the slow that's already been cast, as more and more Blizzard is coming in. Alright, here you go. Next, we may see another Drunken Haze Breath of Fire. There's a Breath of Fire. There's a Drunken Haze. There's a Scroll of Healing now being popped right there, as that Panda's trying to get into position, perhaps running on the far side, and that is just not a good position to be in again. Alright, there's a Stormbolt. That Panda now in trouble is going to be able to sneak away once more, down to 64, 65 mana, as it is trying to find a way to get some damage off. There is another Breath of Fire, and now the Panda does need to use its Scroll Town Portal, and he does use it just in time, as everyone is about to retreat. The Sorceress, down to 29 hit points, survives there just as a bear was about to finish giving its massive swipe.
A player's forces are under attack.
Alright. Oh, very, very nice. Stormbolt surround Blizzard to take down one poor unsuspecting bear. Meanwhile, anti-magic potion, potion of mana, and scroll of town portal onto that panda once again. That panda now making its way down here. Perhaps it will get to level 5, or already at level 5 on the Archmage. Level 4 on the Mountain King. He does also have a spiked collar, so he will be able to mana burn out much of the mana that is sitting on that panda. That panda is sitting at 390 mana. I believe that Fell Beast is... I believe it's a Fell Beast. Is just going to come out and try and mana burn that panda to negate all of that Breath of Fire and even that Drunken Haze. Green Drake gonna fall very easily. There it goes. It looks like those the Tome of Intelligence +2. That is it. More mana for the panda, and the panda now already up to 420 mana and counting. No upkeep, or low upkeep for Lawliet. Meanwhile, K also at low upkeep. Both of them sitting at their very comfortable 80 supply army, looking very strong. You can see 1/1 upgrades on those bears. Spellbreakers, I believe, are still 1/2, so better with the armor. And we are now going into level 2 weapons upgrade, so it's going to be 2/2 against 1/1, and that is just not good news. But Lawliet, with those mana flares, should be able to do a fair bit of damage, as the panda now simply just tries to run in. Is it going to try to get off a Breath of Fire? Spellbreaker now comes in as well, and the panda now comes in. There's a Breath of Fire, huge amounts of damage, and there is, oh, Earth, Storm, and Fire to break the surround. Beautifully done here, and that was a beautiful play, breaking that surround, as we see Storm cycloning up that Archmage. Archmage once again up in the air, going to be taken out again. Mountain King not quite sure how to deal with this. You can see that the Archmage is still trying to back off. There's going to be another round of Blizzard, as all the units are backing up. Potion of Divinity used, and all of the Earth, all this Earth panda can really do is try and perhaps taunt. All right, there's that Fell Stalker coming in. You can see Griffins are now being joined in on the fight, and that is just absolutely the worst news to have. Storm trying to take down some of these units, and you can see how much damage that the Griffins are going to do to these bears and, well, to everything else on the field. All right, this is not looking good. Panda now getting up to level 7. You can see picking up the Zeppelin, with that Zeppelin right there, in order to scroll a town portal out. That was not a safe bit whatsoever. There goes a Fairy Dragon, not paying attention, sitting at 81 over 96 supply compared to 65 over 100. Lawliet goes back and licks his wounds, as he is now significantly behind at this point. 65 compared to 100, compared to 81 over 96. And now that he knows his opponent has Griffins, he's going to be trying to go for Hippogriffs, but that may be too little too late. Flying Machine. Gonna be great anti-air if those Hippogriffs are clumped together, and I do believe that they will be clumped together. Lawliet now backing off here. We are going to be going into what should be a very epic fight. Level 5, level 4, compared to level 7 on the panda, almost level 8. Drunken Haze, Breath of Fire, Drunken Brawler. Very nice items, as the panda did end up selling that Talisman of Evasion, since his Drunken Brawler perhaps already caught up in terms of the overall mischance. All right, here you go next. Still nothing to be found here. There's a handful of Griffins up in the air. I believe that is 4 Griffins in the air. Are we going to be even seeing any Dragon Hawks? No, we are going into Chimeras. Chimeras, where were they? Double Chimeras off to the side over here. So double Chimeras now coming in. And Chimeras are just completely out of the blue. All right, here you go. There is some mass detonation trying to come in as well. There is the attack. The mortar team's just getting poked apart left and right, as the Archmage now getting focused down. All right, that Archmage has to be extremely careful, as the Hippogriffs are trying to focus down more units. There is another Drunken Haze. There's a Breath of Fire. The Archmage still taking a bit of damage. There's a bear in the backfield here that has no right to be alive right now. There it goes, finally getting taken down, as you can see that the Archmage does have a Potion of Lesser Invulnerability. There is, oh, a huge Drunken Haze taking down all the casters, and somehow Lawliet was able to come back into this game. There is the GG, as Lawliet takes game 1 with a tech change into Chimeras, and those Chimeras just melted away all of those units. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed game 1 in this series.